we talk about here in the operating room. Love it. Okay, so let's get this set. Perfect. Shinrin-yoku. So what is Shinrin-yoku? Literally, it means forest bathing. Has anyone heard of that before? Forest bathing. What does forest bathing have to do with being in the operating room? Like, please tell me what this has to, right? This is like the farthest place from being in a forest you could be, right? We have these medications, we got breathing tubes that beep, beep, beep. What? Oh, someone says they know it. Japanese forest bathing, that's right. Sin City Shooter, that's a hilarious username, but that's right. Forest bathing, studied, I mean, it's got a Japanese term because it was studied by some Japanese doctors a couple decades ago, and it's actually super important to surgery. Who here can tell me why? What does forest bathing have to do with surgery? And making your surgery safer, more comfortable, probably less chance at pain? Who here is going to get a shout out? I want to know what does this have to do with that? Oh, a great question, by the way. Why did the doctor ask me to lift my neck and chin up and down? I do that all the time with my patients. It has to do with the breathing tube. So remember, we're going to talk about the forest as well, but because somebody asked, this is one of the tools we use, by the way, not a very foresty. This goes into your mouth like that, and we need to make sure you can actually bring your head back and forth all the way. That's why we always ask, it's for your safety before surgery. We have to look in the back of your mouth. Now, enough distractions. I want to talk about the forest and what the forest has to do with the safety of your surgery and with maybe less pain, less anxiety. Tell me, who boosts immunity, helps with recovery from surgery is right. S.E. Simpson O gets the shout out. I love it. So what is this? Why is this so powerful? Because when you're having surgery, you're literally like, you're wearing this gown, part of your body's exposed, maybe more of your body is exposed. You lose power because you're unconscious for many surgeries. These medications that we give you literally take away your memories, and a lot of patients feel like they lose control. But, and this is a huge but, there's still a ton of control that you all have, even when your brain is kind of half there, half not there. Now, if we give you enough general anesthesia, for some brain surgeries, we literally turn off your brain 100%, to the point where if we put an EEG on your brain, there's nothing going on there, right? But that's the minority of surgeries. It's not the majority. The majority still are probably still there, and more is being processed than you think. It's crazy. We're still learning about just how much the brain is still processing. But the point is that when you wake up, what was going on in your brain before you fell asleep influences how you're going to wake up and how you're going to recover after. All right? So, Shinrin-yoku, what does this have to do? When we are in an environment that we feel is healing, it actually can be healing. I'm going to give you a couple of good examples, some great examples, but remember to hit the like button if you're learning stuff, subscribe to keep up with all the lives. Remember, this is being uploaded to YouTube, so if you're missing anything here, you can check out the recording there. It'll be uploaded after we're done, okay? So, also, in the links in my bio, guys, if you want to join, get some more exclusive lives with fewer numbers of people where I can actually answer more of your questions, because there's hundreds of questions coming in here. I'm trying to keep up with them, but check out the link there. You can sign up to be a part of a community where you get some more one-on-one or 1-on-10 instead of 1-on-1,000 lives there. You can help shape that community by telling me what times work for you, how many times a week, etc. So check out the links there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But let's talk about this powerful, powerful concept. When you're in an environment that helps reduce your stress, I know it sounds silly, right? Everyone's like, oh, when I was at Harvard, people would make fun of me all the time for talking about this. All the time. I would be the joke in my residency class because, it's like he was talking about diet, he's talking about nutrition. Everyone's talking about the ventilator, right? Everyone's talking about the breathing tube. Everyone's talking about, the cold, hard metal stuff that goes in your mouth, right? Now, obviously, everyone there is very smart, and I'm indebted to everything I learned there, don't get me wrong. But there's so much more to the human body than just, cold, hard metal and ventilators and all that. Great school, fantastic. Everything is beautiful there. I loved it. I love Stanford as well. But we ignored the most powerful part in the operating room where I am right now, and that's the patient's mind. You guys have more power than anything we can really do for your long-term recovery from surgery. Your environment is something that you can choose. and has an incredible, incredible impact. So let me give you the example of Norman Cousins. You can Google him if you want. He had ankylosing spondylitis. Ankylosing spondylitis is a terrible disease, especially in the 70s before we had medications to help treat it. Nowadays, we have some medications that can help prevent the massive pain that can come from ankylosing spondylitis. Back then, we didn't. So poor Norman was literally hospitalized so that anything Norman could do and the doctors could do to help with the pain. So one day, Norman was like, guys, I'm done. This place is sterile, white, I can't sleep. I'm going to go to a hotel room, pop in a couple, whatever, VHSs, I don't even know what they had back then. I'm going to kick it back and laugh. Well, what happened to Norman? Norman felt a heck of a lot better. You can look it up, guys, I'm not making it up. Nowadays, we are very lucky and blessed that we have powerful medications that can help treat things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, these debilitating autoimmune conditions like ankylosing spondylitis. But, you can't always nail everything. We don't have all the magic silver bullets yet. Hopefully we will, but we may not. So for those patients who are suffering from chronic pain today, the environment that they live in plays a huge role. Look at where I am right now. I mean, this is a powerful, powerful room, guys. I'm not saying there's anything bad about this place. We save lives every day here. Check out, I mean, all these medications that I use. These are like powerful, no joke. These are life-saving, right? But they also have crazy side effects. This sterile white room doesn't exactly bring out peace and serenity in people. This has an impact on how patients recover and how you feel overall. If you're appreciating the message here, remember to hit the like button and follow to keep up with all the lives. To be clear, I'm connected to the monitor here. I was going to do some mindfulness and some mind-body stuff. We'll do it later on. So that's why I connected myself, but there's no one else in the room. It is empty. The surgeries are over for today. But hit the follow button to keep up with all the lives and share with others that you care about, because this message is applicable to everyone out there, whether you're sick or not, because your environment has a huge impact on your healing. Now, let me ask you a question. When you go to a hotel, what are the most expensive rooms in a hotel? What are the most expensive rooms? We all know it's the rooms that are up high that have a beautiful view. Because in the hotel industry, they've realized that people are willing to pay more because they feel better when they have a view. Not a view of the building adjacent with a bunch of red bricks. No. Having a view of nature. Maybe it's like a trail, a pond, a bunch of trees, a forest. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter exactly what it is. You can be in the middle of a city, in like a junkyard. A little bit of nature tends to help people feel a lot better. Yeah, penthouse. E. Simpson, I love it. Like a penthouse, right? Now, the same thing is true in hospitals as well. There's a study done, I haven't seen any recent studies on this, but this is from maybe 20 years ago. They put patients after gallbladder surgery in rooms with windows with beautiful views and in hospital rooms with windows with ugly views. Who do you think did better? Who do you guys think did better in that? What's my point, asks Rocky, Colorado. My point is that the patients who had a view of nature recovered faster from their invasive abdominal surgeries and got out of the hospital faster. Most medications that we give cannot do that. Medications that we give for pain, like this one here, have loads of side effects and are far from safe when used in the long term. Now, of course, in the short term, that's fine, but that's not what we're talking about. I want people to not have to come to the operating room, and if they do, to be empowered to not have to, I'm just reading these comments here. Wow, what rude people. Mr. White Coat off. Wow. Well, if you don't like the live, you can peace out here, Mr. White Coat Live. I'm just saying. You can take that attitude somewhere else. Wow. Anyways, so that's Shinrin-yoku. Shinrin-yoku takes this one step further. It talks about going into a forest. Or in the forest environment in nature, people that are glued to their devices for 1, 2, 5, 7 hours a day suddenly can discover something new when they're literally disconnected. So there's something called disconnection syndrome or something. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Okay. All right. Disconnection syndrome. Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments here. People are talking about all sorts of crazy things. All right, guys, I'm not operating on someone. Maybe that's the problem here. Guys, I'm the one connected to the monitor here. This is the long, yeah, no one's being operated on. We're done with surgeries for the day, all right? Here's the graveyard of medications. I'm not giving any more, all right? So we're talking about being in the forest, because when people are in the forest, it doesn't have to be very long. Did you know it only takes like 5 minutes for the nervous system to begin to adapt to a disconnected environment? So why do I bring this up? Before surgery, patients get really nervous. Maybe you're not having surgery, maybe you're taking a test. 5 minutes of college students just disconnecting and experiencing some nature has a tangible effect on their perception of feeling calm and relaxed. Now we have to put it to the test more to see if they actually test better on their test, but I can tell you, before surgery, just feeling more relaxed means you typically need less anesthesia, like this stuff here. The less anesthesia you get, the less chance of side effects. So, it only takes 5 minutes to begin to get that benefit. So you can imagine, what if you spend 30 minutes a day walking in nature, an hour a day, doesn't matter. What if before your surgery, we had rooms where patients had views, or they had plants everywhere? You don't need to have a view. If you're in a place that doesn't have a view, that's okay. Having indoor plants, et cetera, colors, all these things have an incredible impact that is very real and can minimize the doses we need of powerful medications like these that I'd rather not give patients if we don't need to, right? They all have side effects. This one here that I'm holding up here, especially in the elderly, may be correlated with increased chance of post-operative cognitive deficit. Nobody wants grandma to wake up with worse memory after, right? That'd be devastating. So anything that we can do that naturally helps reduce the need for these medications is very powerful. So if you appreciate that message, remember to hit the like button and share with others. Your support does help me do this more often. And just as a reminder, this will be uploaded on YouTube as well, so you can check out the recording if you missed stuff there. So the more anesthesia you get, the more side effects. If someone's asking, yes, this is the whole premise of why I'm here. All these medications that I give, which by the way, there are many oral forms as well. Same thing goes for your oral medications at home. The higher the dose that you take, the more of them you take, the greater the chance of side effects. And that's why I'm here, because I want people to recognize that we use these when we need to in emergency situations. That's totally fine. But if we can find ways to avoid them, patients win in the end. Because because you have more power over your health than you've probably ever been told. Hey, thank you so much for the kind comments. What if a person is calm? Do you give them less anesthesia? Yes and no, but for the majority of surgeries that I do, yes, the more relaxed you are, you tend to need less anesthesia. It's crazy, absolutely. But not only less anesthesia, you also get less nausea, less chance of depression after, better wound healing. Now, what does it have to do with wound healing, right? Let's talk about it. I'm going to do a quick demonstration here with the life support monitor. I'm going to put the little graveyard away. If you guys had questions about the specific meds, I'm happy to talk about them. But suffice to say that they're life-saving in the right scenario and dangerous in the wrong doses or when used for too long. By the way, most of these medications come from plants, by the way. I did a 2-year fellowship after my residency at Harvard in integrative medicine, so I love the plant origins of things. So yeah, loads of these come from plants. I'm happy to talk about that as well. I'm going to put these down for a second. I want you guys to look at the monitor and listen to the monitor as I show you guys one of my favorite things to do with patients. I did it several times today, actually, before they fall asleep, to help calibrate their nervous system in a way that is more likely for them to wake up more relaxed. Because how you fall asleep influences how you wake up. How you wake up, like if you wake up kicking, screaming, crying, cussing, slapping, can be traumatic for patients and can lead to PTSD. And I don't want that with my patients. I want them to wake up smoothly with less chance of side effects. Does anesthesia cause reflux? No, anesthesia doesn't cause reflux, but anesthesia, especially medications like this here, can cause stomach contents to be vomited. And that's why we ask you to not eat or drink anything for many hours before surgery. So, do they remember what they did? Yes, many patients do remember what they did after they woke up from surgery. It's pretty crazy. They do. Very good question. Okay, so remember, excuse me, remember to check out the links in my bio. I do have some cool links there, especially for making our little community of more exclusive content. So check that out. If you sign up now, you can be in the decision-making process for what times we pick, how often we meet, and stuff like that. So be sure to sign up there. All right, so I'm going to show you something on this monitor. I am going to bring, well, I'm going to leave the camera there. I'm going to flip the mirror image so you guys can see the numbers here. Now, I've done this before with you guys. I'm going to do it again because the number on here, the 99 is showing my pulse oximeter, right? But the little number here is telling you my heart rate. And you're going to hear my heart rate change as I breathe. And this is how I do some feedback. Actually, with my last patient, I did this because it helps remind you how much control you have over your body. Before I do that, though, a very good question here about, can the teeth shape affect the amount of anesthesia you receive? Yes, your teeth influence how we place the breathing tube in, influences how this fits in your mouth. Doesn't really influence the amount of anesthesia you get per se, but does influence your anesthesia. It's very, very important. Oh, greetings from Athens. Greetings back from the San Francisco Bay Area. I love it. And Richard Vaughn, good to see you again today. I love it. Why do people get emotional waking up? Well, all right, we will get to this in a moment, I promise, but such a great question. Why do patients wake up emotional? Like crying, screaming, ultimately being more depressed in the weeks after their surgery. It's not, guys, this is a big deal because when you are depressed after surgery, your recovery is worse. It might not heal as well. You might not be as active as you could be to help prevent blood clots or infections. So after surgery in particular, we absolutely do not want patients to get depressed, and unfortunately, way too many do. And that's what I'm talking about this today. So anyways, the emotions come out when we go to sleep traumatized, when we go to sleep with active depression, just from the disinhibited. I don't know what's going on. Oh, hey, YouTube's back on. Excellent. Hey, great. So guys, we were talking about, oh, fantastic. Let's get this camera back on. Yeah, the YouTube one kind of went away and it came back. So for what you guys missed, we're talking about spinals, and in particular, how many patients can undergo very invasive surgeries without any sedation at all. And it comes, sorry guys, the camera's got all messed up today. No, I do not have a patient under. This is me on the monitor and with the messed up camera here. Great. Well, does that work for now? Kind of, sort of? All right. What I'm saying is that with the right mindset, I don't have to give a drop of this medication, or, you know, if you guys on TikTok, I can do crazy surgeries without any medication. Just so that pregnant women can do it all.